Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina suggests a 5-point action plan to effectively fight against antimicrobial resistance, as it is crucial for preventing future pandemics. Government starts buying paddy from farmers at 27 taka per kg. 10,000 tons of rice reached the country from India. Those involved with arson attacks have been arrested, not any alim ulema, says Obaidul Qadir. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood urges BNP to stand by the people, avoiding politics of accusations. Corona infections slowing down in the country and recovery rate rises. Pressure of patients in hospitals eases gradually. Experts giving credit to lockdown for this. In India, 3,647 died from coronavirus in the last 24 hours. More than 3,79,000 new cases identified during this period. And in Pellekeli, Sri Lanka scored 291 for 1 against Bangladesh at the end of first day of 2-match test series. Assalamu alaikum. This is News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center. I'm Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina warned that antimicrobial resistance may cause even more lethal pandemics in future than COVID-19 and recommended 5 action plans for execution to address the threat. The Prime Minister was addressing a high-level interactive dialogue on antimicrobial resistance virtually held at the UN headquarters in New York today. In her recorded video message, Sheikh Hasina said, "The world is now witnessing the devastating pandemic of COVID-19, while failure to tackle the antimicrobial resistance in time will result in huge loss of human lives, animals and plants." In her speech, she also recommended 5 action plans.
Pandemic of COVID-19, however, antimicrobial resistance may cause even more lethal pandemics in future. Failure to tackle this hazard in time will result in huge loss of human lives, animals and plants. Integrated multi-sectoral action plan on AMR, including collective action plan by the international community at both regional and global level, with special focus on low and middle income countries.
President of the UN General Assembly, Volkan Bozkır, convened the dialogue, while it was also addressed by Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley. The government has started procurement of paddy directly from farmers at taka 27 per kg, which is more than last year, in order to stock this staple food for the countrymen. On the other hand, the government has taken an initiative to buy 20,000 metric tons of rice from India. Out of the total amount, 10,000 metric tons rice has already reached the country through first shipment. Food Minister Shardhan Chandra Majumdar said the present government is pro-farmers government. For this reason, the government is procuring paddy this year at the maximum price. Meanwhile, agriculture officials said this year bumper Boro paddy was produced in the country, which will help to expedite food storage. The government was estimated to produce 2 crore 5 lakh metric tons of rice during this Boro season across the country. According to Department of Agricultural Extension, this year Boro paddy was cultivated at 40,83,760 hectares of land across the country. Directorate General of Department of Agricultural Extension, Mohammad Asadullah, said Boro crops of our region did not affect early flood this year like 2 previous years. The first delivery of imported Japan-made metro rail coach reached Bangladesh, and these are lying now at Diabari depot of Uttara in Dhaka. Initially, the first modern metro rail will have 6 coaches, and these are being examined for applying on the rail track. Besides, the setting up of rail line and electrification works within the depot has already been completed. The authority further said the second and the third set of metro coach will arrive Dhaka within June next. Authorities concerned say the work of this gigantic metro rail project is going on round the clock and hopeful to complete within the fixed time. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has said the government has not arrested anybody as Islamic scholar or BNP leader. The people involved in arson attacks have been arrested by going through video footage, he added. Obaidul Qadir said this at a view exchange meeting with officials of Chattogram Road Zone, BRTC and BRTA today. He joined the meeting virtually from his official residence. Obaidul Qadir said there is no alternative to elections to go to power, so all have to wait till the next polls.
যারা জ্বালাও পোড়াও করে তাদের ভিডিও ফুটেজ আছে, ভিডিও ফুটেজ দেখে গ্রেফতার করা হচ্ছে। আলেম ওলামা দেখে নয়, অথবা বিএনপি কে দেখে নয়। বিএনপি বাইরে এত বিশুদ্ধার করছেন, কই কাউকে তো কোনো গ্রেফতার করা হচ্ছে না। অপপ্রচার আর গুজব ছড়াচ্ছেন আপনারা প্রকাশ্যে, তারপরে কিন্তু কাউকে গ্রেফতার করা হচ্ছে না দলীয়ভাবে। বারে বারে বাংলাদেশে ৭৫ আর ৩রা নভেম্বর ১৫ই আগস্ট ঘটিয়ে চক্রান্ত করবে, বারে বারে তথাকথিত ৭ই নভেম্বর ঘটিয়ে ২১শে আগস্ট ঘটিয়ে এ দেশে রক্তপাত ঘটিয়ে ক্ষমতা যাওয়ার চক্রান্ত করবেন। সেই দিন বাংলাদেশে শেষ হয়ে গেছে। চক্রান্তের পথে নয়, আসুন পরবর্তী নির্বাচনের জন্য প্রস্তুতি নিন। পরবর্তী নির্বাচন ক্ষমতা পরিবর্তনের পালা বদলের পথ হতে পারে, অন্য কোনো পথে ক্ষমতায় আসার কোনো সুযোগ নেই। ভ্যাকসিন নিলেই অ্যান্টিবডি তৈরি হবে, কাজে আমাদের আর মাস্ক পরার দরকার নেই, স্বাস্থ্যবিধি মানার দরকার নেই, এমন কি যারা ভাবছেন তারা বোকার স্বর্গে বাস করছেন। ভ্যাকসিন নিলেও মাস্ক যথাযথভাবে পরতে হবে। কক্সবাজার থেকে টেকনাফ পর্যন্ত যে আমাদের মেরিন ড্রাইভ সড়কটি ট্রাফিক অনেক ভলিউম বেড়েছে। এই অবস্থা দেশি বিদেশি পর্যটকরা, বিশেষ করে রোহিঙ্গা শরণার্থীদের কারণে অনেকে সেখানে যাওয়া আসা করেন। কাজে সড়কটি প্রশস্তকরণে উদ্যোগ নিতে হবে যত দ্রুত সম্ভব। সীমান্ত সড়কের ব্যাপারেও আমি গুরুত্ব দিচ্ছি। সীমান্ত সড়কের নির্মাণ কাজও আমাদের এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে হবে।
Awami League Joint General Secretary and Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has called upon the BNP to stand beside people by shunning the politics of hatred. He made the call while addressing a program at the Central Shahid Minar area today. Dhaka Metropolitan South Unit Awami League organized it to distribute Eid gifts among destitute children.
আওয়ামী লীগের সরকার বাংলাদেশের গরিব মেহনতি মানুষের সরকার। সেই কারণে আওয়ামী লীগ সরকার এবং তার দল আজকে খেটে খাওয়া মেহনতি প্রান্তিক জনগোষ্ঠীর পাশে দাঁড়িয়েছে। দ্বিতীয় ঢেউয়ের সময়ও করোনা মহামারীকে মোকাবেলা করার পাশাপাশি মানুষের জীবিকাও রক্ষা করার লক্ষ্যে আমাদের সরকার কাজ করে যাচ্ছে। তাই যারা পর্দার অন্তরালে থেকে অনলাইনে সংযুক্ত হয়ে, ভার্চুয়ালি সংযুক্ত হয়ে সাংবাদিকদের সাথে কথা বলেন, আর মাঝে মধ্যে ছিটে ফোটা কয়েকজনকে নিয়ে যে আপনারা যখন প্রেস ক্লাবের সামনে যখন মানববন্ধন করেন, মানববন্ধনের লোকসংখ্যা দেখে আমাদেরও লজ্জা লাগে। কারণ অবশ্য তাদের হচ্ছে ছোট পরিবার, সুখী পরিবার। কারণ মানববন্ধনে 100 লোক পূর্ণ হয় না। মানববন্ধন করে সেখানে মানুষের জন্য 100 টাকা চাল নিয়ে তারা উপস্থিত হয় না, অথচ সরকারের বিষোদ্গার করে। যারা সরকারের বিষোদ্গার করছেন, যারা অহেতুক সমালোচনা করছেন, তাদেরকে অনুরোধ জানাই অহেতুক সমালোচনা না করে আপনারা আসুন, জনগণের পাশে দাঁড়ান। আমাদের দুয়ার খোলা আছে আপনাদের জন্য। আসুন একযোগে আমরা জনগণের পাশে দাঁড়াই। এখন রাজনীতির সময় নয়, এখন রাজনীতি হচ্ছে জনগণকে সহায়তা করা। এটি একমাত্র রাজনীতি হওয়া বাঞ্ছনীয়।
Dhaka Metropolitan South Awami League Relief and Social Welfare Secretary Mohammad Azhar supervised the program. Member of Parliament Nurul Amin Ruhul and Metropolitan Awami League leaders also spoke. Besides, Dhaka Metropolitan South Awami League President Abu Ahmed Mannafi and General Secretary Humayun Kabir joined the program virtually. Bangladesh today reported 2,341 COVID-19 cases, while the coronavirus claimed overnight 88 lives. The Directorate General of Health Services, DGHS, said in its routine daily statement that the tally of infections has surged to 7,57,955. A total of 88 COVID-19 patients died in the last 24 hours, increasing the death toll from the pandemic to 11,393. The statement said 9.39% of the 24,928 samples collected in the last 24 hours were tested positive, while the infection rate was only 2.30%. Just on February 8 this year, as during the late winter season, the rate started decreasing sharply. The recovery count rose to 6,77,101 after another 4,782 patients were discharged from the hospitals during the past one day. DGHS informed that in last 24 hours, 48 people died in Dhaka Division, 22 died in Chattogram Division, 4 died in Rajshahi Division, 1 died in Khulna Division, 4 died in Borishal Division, 5 died in Sylhet Division, 2 died in both Rangpur and Mymensingh Division each. The statement said in last 24 hours, 2,084 people recovered from corona pandemic in Dhaka Division. 936 people recovered in Rangpur Division, 384 people in Khulna Division, 413 people in Borishal Division, 263 people in Rajshahi Division, 349 people in Sylhet Division, and 34 people recovered in Mymensingh Division. The ongoing second dose vaccinations are being continued at different hospitals of the capital city. The people are receiving vaccines at different hospitals and medical centers willingly. The hospital sources said there are adequate doses of vaccines in their stock. Besides, more new hospitals and medical centers are being set up for the COVID-19 patients so that the aspirant people can take vaccines easily. Specialist physicians said now the rush of corona patients has reduced to some extent and there is no alternative but to take coordinated efforts to keep this trend of reduction. Agriculture Minister Dr. Mohammad Abdul Razak has said a coordinated initiative is being taken to become self-contained in jute seed production. He said this at a virtual meeting titled Review of Self-Contained Progress of Jute Seeds today. Senior Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Mohammad Misbahul Islam, moderated the meeting. The Agriculture Minister said Bangladesh will have to decrease foreign dependency for jute seed and it will have to become self-contained in jute seed production. He also said the government will give incentives to the farmers in jute seed production. The United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday adopted unanimously a historic resolution introduced by Bangladesh on drowning prevention and proclaimed 25 July as World Drowning Prevention Day. The permanent representative of Bangladesh to the United Nations, Ambassador Rabab Fatima, introduced the first ever one-off UNGA resolution on global drowning prevention, which acknowledges the silent epidemic for the first time in UN's 75 years history. Co-led by Ireland, the resolution was co-sponsored by a total 81 member states, according to a press release received today. The resolution recognizes that drowning affects every nation of the world and provides a framework for action for an effective response to the unacceptably high number of drowning deaths. The resolution further identifies that drowning is a preventable cause of mortality that disproportionately affects children and adolescents within and among nations. A new UN Day for Drowning Prevention, 25 July, was also proclaimed to promote awareness and encourage national action as well as share best practices and key solutions to drowning. Bangladesh Permanent Mission to the UN in New York has been working since 2018 to ensure that this global and preventable epidemic secures much reserved political space internationally. And now international news. India on Thursday recorded another 3,645 COVID-19 deaths, a new record for the country and a spike of over 350 from the previous day, according to Health Ministry data. The country has now seen 204,832 deaths in total from the coronavirus pandemic, although many experts suspect that the true toll is higher. India is experiencing a relentless new wave of infections, with almost 380,000 registered in the last 24 hours, breaking another world record. This month alone, the country has added over 6 million new cases. The explosion in infections, blamed in part on a new virus variant as well as mass political and religious events, has overwhelmed hospitals with dire shortages of beds, drugs and oxygen. Meanwhile, COVID-19 global death toll crosses 31,68,000 and over 15,574,000 people have been infected globally. Besides, more than 12,80,36,000 people have recovered from the virus so far. Brazil has now 1,45,23,000 confirmed cases and 3,98,000 deaths. The country reported 3,019 deaths yesterday. The United States has now 3,29,83,000 confirmed cases and 5,88,337 deaths. Today is 29th April. On this day in 1991, a devastating cyclone hit the coastal belt of Chattogram and Cox's Bazar. The cyclone killed about 1,50,000 people, causing more than $1.5 billion in damage. The present government has made homes for the affected families, which is the first ever housing project for climate refugees in the world. Viewers, now Sehri and Iftar timings for the capital and adjoining areas. Tonight's Sehri ends at 4 early in the morning in Dhaka and adjoining areas, while tomorrow's Iftar will be at 6:30 in the evening. And now sports news. India has scored 291 runs for 1 at stumps of day 1 in the second test of the two-match series in Pellikelly Stadium today. At the end of the day, Lahiru Thirimani and Osahada Fernando were on the crease with 131 and 40 runs respectively. Debutant bowler Shariful Islam bagged the lone wicket for Bangladesh. The first test between host Sri Lanka and Bangladesh were ended in a draw. Manchester City beats Paris Saint-Germain PSG by 2-1 in the Champions League semi-final first leg last night. Marquinhos took lead for the host PSG in the 15th minute of the match at the Parc des Princes. In the 64th minute of the match, Kevin De Bruyne levelled the margin for Man City. Riyad Mahrez scored second goal for the City in the 71st minute of the match. Viewers, to end the bulletin headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina suggests a 5-point action plan to effectively fight against antimicrobial resistance, as it is crucial for preventing future pandemics. Government starts buying paddy from farmers at 27 taka per kg. 10,000 tons of rice reached the country from India. Those involved with arson attacks have been arrested, not any alim ulema, says Ubaidul Qadir. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hasan Mahmood urges BNP to stand by the people, avoiding the politics of accusations. Corona infections slowing down in the country and recovery rate rises. Pressure of patients in hospitals eases gradually. Experts giving credit to lockdown for this. In India, 3,647 died from coronavirus in the last 24 hours. More than 3,79,000 new cases identified during this period. And in Pellekele, Sri Lanka scored 291 for 1 against Bangladesh at the end of the first day of the two-match test series. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Our next